Do you need neutral density filters on these little things when we're doing a motovlog? That's what we're going to find out in today's video. So guys, welcome back to the channel. We're talking about neutral density filters, and do I need them with my motovlogs? Are they going to make my motovlogs that much better? Probably not. That's a short answer, but stick around. I got a bunch of test footage that I shot, and these specifically are the Freewell ND filters. They come with a nice little cleaning cloth there. You get a circular polarizer, and then you get 3 neutral density filters. If you're not familiar what neutral density filters are, they're essentially sunglasses for your camera lens. They block some of the light, so you can now use a slower shutter speed, wide open aperture, and get the I hate the term cinematic, but everybody uses it, and really what you're trying to get is a little bit of motion blur. It's more of how your eyes naturally see the world. Things blur by. If you're going down the highway, you know, your peripheral vision, things are just whizzing by. You're not seeing them sharply. With the GoPro on the auto settings, it uses a much higher shutter speed, and that helps with the hypersmooth, the stabilization. So that's where I've heard things can run into trouble, is the stabilization and using that low shutter speed. So I've got examples of both, with the hypersmooth on, with the hypersmooth off. The one thing I didn't do was hypersmooth on boost. I only did hypersmooth on standard, which is what I use all the time. So let's look at the test footage. When we come back, let me know what you guys think in the comment, and please stick around that far, and we'll find out if these things are really worth it, or just that I wasted 65 bucks. We'll start with the auto settings and standard hypersmooth. This is what all my videos are recorded in. None of this footage has been color graded either. As you can see, when we freeze frame, you can still read what's on the side of this truck. Okay, so I've stopped here just to show you an example. This is the ND8 that I was going to put on first, and everything's just still too blown out. So I'm not going to bother doing the entire run all with the ND8. So I'm going to switch it over to the ND16, see if it's any better. Now I added the ND16. You can see it's still slightly overexposed, but much better than the ND8 from the previous clip. And when we freeze frame, we get that nice motion blur. This is now the ND16 with and without hypersmooth. I think hypersmooth on looks much better. Let me know what you guys think. And here I tried 4 times the frame rate, so 1/120th of a second shutter speed. With the freeze frame, you can still see some motion blur, just not as much as 1/60th of a second. Moving right along, we're now using ND32 and 1/60th of a second shutter. As you can see, the exposure is much better, and we have that motion blur once again. And now another side-by-side with hypersmooth on and off. Obviously, hypersmooth on looks so much better. And one more example now using that faster shutter speed of 1/120th of a second. Less blur on this as would be expected, but it still looks pretty good. So there you have it, guys. That's the test footage. Let me know what you think. My personal opinion is, if I had to do it over again, I wouldn't buy them. It's like, you know what, doesn't make it look that much better. I really don't. I'm not really convinced that it does. I'm going to keep using them for a few more videos and maybe trying a few different things. Let me know if you notice any kind of difference in, you know, the video quality, because well, what I'm talking about will probably still be a bunch of nonsense anyway, but you know, hopefully the actual video will look better. Now, for motovlogging, I don't know that it's gonna really be worth it. If somebody's out doing some kind of a travel video, they're trying to capture scenery, and they want a nice small camera to catch it with, yeah, probably. But you know what, for me, I've got this Nikon that I'm shooting this footage on right now. If I was gonna do anything where I wanted really good footage, I think I would use that, and maybe a gimbal. And we do have an ND filter on this one, and this is a variable ND filter. Totally different subject. You see it's all blown out, a little bit overexposed, a little bit better, maybe still a little overexposed. Yeah, it's pretty much better. But you know what? It's a beautiful day out here. Had to come out, sit on the deck, just record this section of the video because I didn't do it while I was doing all the riding. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please, again, let me know what you think, whether or not you think they're worth it or not. We'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.